Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be unboxing and doing a quick hands-on review of the LG K42. Now here's the box. So LG has launched this phone in India in only one variant. It's priced at 11,000 rupees. Comes with 3GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. It's available in two colors, grey and green, and we have the grey color with us right now. By the way, you can buy this phone both online and offline. Now with that said, the most highlighting things about this phone would be its military standard certification, 2 years of warranty, one-time free screen replacement, and its bigger display, and its camera setup. Mainly that 2 years of warranty and one-time free screen replacement are more eye-catchy things. Now with that said, let's get on with the unboxing. Now here's the box, and it is a huge letter K on the front. And we have some more information all around. Anyway, this is how the box looks. Now let's get on with the unboxing. And this is how we open it up. And first we have the phone itself. Let me just put that aside for now. Next we have some documentation and the case. Inside the documentation cover, we also get the SIM card ejector tool. Next we have a 10 watts power adapter. And finally, we have a USB Type-C charging cable. Now this is how the case looks like. It's just a regular soft silicone case, but the quality itself is quite good. Now back to the phone. We have some of the highlights listed on the front. Mainly its bigger display, quad camera setup, storage information, and the dedicated Google Assistant button. Now let me just remove these stickers. Now this is how the phone looks on the front, and this is how the phone looks on the back. Now let's have a physical overview. On the back, this phone has a plastic back panel with a two-tone finish. The major part of the area is covered by a dedicated plastic layer with a unique wave pattern design, which is definitely pretty new. This is the first time I'm looking at a phone with a different build like this. And I think most companies will be doing something like this because we have been too bored with a glass or plastic back panel with different colors. This one is definitely a new touch. Now with that said, at the top left corner, we have the camera module with a quad camera setup and a single LED flash. On the front, we have a massive display with a punch hole design. Above the display, we have just the earpiece and some sensors. And below the display, it's completely plain. The chin is kinda big, but considering the price and how good the display looks, it's okay. Now for the sides. On the right side, we have the power button, which also acts like a fingerprint scanner. On the left side, we have the SIM card tray housing 2 nano SIM slots along with a dedicated SD card slot. Following that are the volume buttons and a dedicated Google Assistant button. All these buttons are sufficiently elevated and have a nice clicky feel to them. Finally at the bottom, we have the audio jack followed by the primary microphone, USB Type-C charging port, and the speaker grill. Now this phone has a thickness of 8.4 mm and weighs 182 grams. In hand, it feels pretty sleek and kinda slippery as well and feels pretty light in weight. But because of the bigger display, it definitely feels pretty huge. Now let me just try out the case. It fits pretty easily. So this is how the phone looks with the case on, just like any other phone with a soft silicone case. It has got a cutout for all the ports. It has a raised lid for the camera module and even for the display, so it can definitely give you some basic level of protection. Now these are the complete specifications of this phone. On the rear, this phone has a quad camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera, a 5 megapixel super wide angle camera, a 2 megapixel camera for taking portrait shots, and finally a 2 megapixel camera for taking macro shots. For selfies, it is an 8 megapixel camera. On the front, it is a 6.6 inch IPS display with a punch hole design and HD+ resolution. It's powered by a MediaTek Helio P22 processor with PowerVR GE8320 GPU with 3GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Right out of the box, it will be running Android 10, and finally powering this device is a 4000 mAh battery. By the way, this phone also comes with LG 3D surround sound engine, which is a pretty unique thing that you can only find on the LG phones, which can definitely improve your audio experience. Now let me turn on the phone and set it up and come back to you in a second. Now this is how the UI looks like. It's the home screen. These are the notification toggles. Now let's check the about page. So this phone is running Android 10 with the December 1st, 2020 security patch, which is pretty decent. As for the storage information, out of that 3GB of RAM, we get about 1.1GB of RAM free right out of the box. And out of that 64GB of storage, we get about 45GB of space for our user apps and user data. Now let's check the camera interface. It's a pretty regular user interface. It's like a simplified version. You can swipe left or right to change between different modes. The same applies even for the front camera. Now these are some sample shots. Now let's test the fingerprint scanner. Just like most phones these days, even this phone comes with a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, and it is pretty fast. It unlocks the phone in less than a second. But just like other phones with side-mounted fingerprint scanner, it's always on, and whenever your phone is locked, you can experience accidental touches, which can be pretty annoying. And just like all other phones, you also have this option called screen unlock. When screen is off, you just disable it from the fingerprint settings to fix that issue. By the way, there is no face unlock feature on this phone, which was pretty surprising. Now let's test the speaker loudness. Here's the audio sample. So this phone has just a single speaker at the bottom and it's not too loud, but it is sufficient for regular media consumption, ringtones and alarms. By the way, LG's 3D surround system only works with a headset, so you can't use it along with the speaker and you won't notice any difference. But on headset, it definitely makes a difference. Now finally, one of the most unique things about this phone is its dedicated button for Google Assistant, and it works pretty simple. Just click it to trigger Google Assistant. Well, if you're someone who really uses Google Assistant a lot, then you might definitely find it pretty handy. Now before I conclude, these are the benchmark scores. So guys, this is the new LG K42. The most unique things about this phone are definitely its display and its unique build for that military grade certification. Even the cameras are pretty decent. So if you're someone who's looking for a brand new phone, something out of the norm, if you're bored with all those Redmi, Realme phones, even the Samsung phones and looking for something new and fresh, you can definitely give this a try. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. With that said, see you in my next video. Nikhil signing off.